Don't Believe the Hype, where we ask you to go beneath the surface of everything that you've been taught, or not even taught, but everything that you've heard, especially when it comes to memes and social media and things like that. Research for yourself. Okay, that's all we ask you to do here, but we'll provide you the information, and then even still go research it for yourself. So today we are going to start off with Mr. Roland Martin.
What is going on with Mr. Roland Martin? I mean, he is basically insulting us.
He's mad as hell. He's not mad at me. He's mad at you.
He's mad at me.
You black YouTube, okay? He's mad at
y'all. Got it.
Well, I mean, I guess he's mad at you. Well, it's just kind of hard to explain because Roland is kind of. Oh, let me backtrack here. Roland Martin, for those of you guys don't know, is this journalist that's been covering a lot of black media for a lot of years now. He's been on CNN, TV One, and a copious amount of other news outlets, if you will. And so he has found himself on YouTube. He used to have the morning show on TV One, but he got fired or let go for whatever reason. They said it was budget concerns or whatever, but who knows? But he's not there anymore, so now he's got a show on YouTube.
Like us.
Yeah, where he, pretty much had the same format that he did on TV One, where he interviews different people and stuff. And so he's found himself pretty pissed off with black YouTube. On particular one segment that he had called members of the African American community press Kamala Harris for the black agenda. And so he had a panel of 4 people, and they were pretty much saying, saying just it shouldn't be her job to basically bring forth the black agenda. She should be, if she becomes the president of everybody. And so while they were talking, Roland got like really heated, like mad at black YouTube. He said, "You new ass, I forget what he called exactly, but you new ass people coming to YouTube. You guys just got a YouTube channel yesterday, and now all of a sudden you're this expert." I guess because maybe a couple people, and not guess, because I've seen people call Roland Martin to task and saying that he doesn't know what the black agenda is. And let's be honest, I'll have to agree. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Roland and say he doesn't know what the black agenda is. I don't think that he has done a good job of delivering it, because let's be honest, we have seen Roland Martin, bust a jig with Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And it's like, okay, because during this rant he did, he went off. He basically insulted every black person on YouTube, and people were taking him to task in the comment section, I would say. I mean, it was a roast. It was a rolling roast, okay?
Wow.
But, it's more or less like, we know you're a part of the establishment.
Yes. Yeah, there's an establishment, and then there's progressives, and then there's far right.
Roland is just a part of the establishment. The establishment that put him out, they fired him off of CNN, and he's no longer on TV One. I don't know what really happened with that. But I think, this is just my personal opinion, I think Roland toes the line a lot. He doesn't really want to piss white people off.
Yeah, you think? Or do you, I don't think that's a thought. I think that's what he does.
Yeah, he toes the line because he wants to, still have his black card to be cool, but he ain't pissing off white people. Because, you know why I think he's not doing that? Because he's hoping one day they'll call him back.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll get like that prime time slot, on ABC, NBC.
Yeah, he's waiting for what's his name on CNN?
Don Lemon.
Yeah, the Don Lemon slot.
Well, they put him off of CNN for whatever reason, him and Soledad and all of that at the same time. Yeah. So I think that's why he doesn't really just say what needs to be said in regards to black people. And so as far as him knowing what the black agenda is, my thing is, if you really knew what the black agenda is, which is an agenda that helps black people without throwing everybody else in the mix, because Dr. Carl Anderson talks about that. Anybody that we send up to Washington needs to have black people in mind.
Tangibles.
Yes, and as I've seen a hashtag going around called Tangible 2020. In that, we're done. We, as black people, are done with politicians saying, okay, I'm going to get y'all this. Just see me up there. Oh, I'm one of you, and I understand. Yeah, all of that. And then they get there and say, well,
we had to do this first.
What? I said that? So no, we actually, and to me, it's a beautiful thing, because black people are waking up, and that we are not, as you said, falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And so Roland, being part of the establishment, what's the establishment? where the big money is, where the donors are, the establishment of the
The
Democratic
establishment
Party.
is the same old, same old.
Right.
Nothing.
Where he probably, and I don't know for a fact, so I'll just say probably. I'm sure he's getting a lot of money, and you know,
when he came to Riverside, he's getting auditorium to brainwash people. He goes on tour, messing with his coin.
He's part of that whole NAACP crowd. We're gonna continue to fight for civil rights, and we need to make sure that we have a seat at the table. What about telling black people to create their own damn table?
Right, tangible. Show us something you're doing.
Right, and so to me, I laughed, but I was like, wow.
You were laughing really hard.
I was laughing, but I'm like, golly. To me, it's like, are you bothered by some of these new ass people on YouTube? You must be. And I know he's talking about a few of the, the very influential ones, like your Tariq Nasheed,
the Demetra K show,
Tone Talks.
The Demetra K show.
I don't know if he's, because I've never really said anything about Roland until now.
Right, but
But I'm like,
these shows that are coming up, waking people up,
and I think because he's a part of the establishment, I think that really bothers him that anybody with some sense, well, we know a lot of people with no sense on YouTube, but people who are interested in what we now call in the black media, and getting the word out and educating people, even if it's just one person, I think that bothers him, that he's probably went to all this schooling, and, he's a Greek, part of the fraternity. And
remember what he said, I was a producer on this show.
Yeah, he named all of his credentials, but it's like, but you won't hear with all these new-ass YouTube people, though. Why you ain't, all them credential shit, you should be having your own TV station with all of that, but you on YouTube with all these new ass people, and I'm like, why? What has Roland in his feelings to that degree? And the only thing I can think of is because a lot of stuff that's coming out about him and the establishment is true.
Exactly.
It's true. It's like, if you claim to be so woke and so knowledgeable and progressive, why are you guys touting that of Kamala Harris? Her record is not,
it's not good when it comes to black people.
And all you got to do is research it. It's not like, because I could see he had a point if black people were just saying, because you do see a lot of people saying, oh, well, she's not black, and she's with a white man and all that other stuff. Okay, to me, that's identity politics, and that's, it has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't, but let's look at her policies first. Because to me, when we start talking about she's not black,
that's a good judge. Policies are a good judgment of how a person governs.
Right, because when you say she's not black or she's not black enough, that does come off as hateful, and it's kind of like, well, that's kind of like the tabloid stuff. I'm interested in knowing, like you said, what her policies are, because to me, that's more important. Whether she says she's a black woman or not, that's not going to really shape politics and the things that she's doing, the things that she's doing to people, or the things that she's done to people.
Right.
So, but as far as him being all this big time educated journalist, and he's been all over the world talking to all these people, scat dancing with Hillary Clinton. Well, it's like, then you should know better.
I've been all over the world too, Roland. What's your point?
You're a new ass, the new ass black man on YouTube.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying it. So, like I said, I chuckle because, like, why are you mad at people for really? This is kind of where what I walked away from when I watched that silliness, him ranting and raving, and just and I've done this and I've done that. So you new ass YouTube people, I walked away thinking, well, maybe he don't really want black people to be woke.
You think?
That's the only thing I can think of. He's mad because it's not him. Roland almost reminded me of that visual that we had of Jesse Jackson at Obama's inauguration, or when he got pronounced the president, and he's bawling and crying. Really, Jesse was like, that should have been me.
Or Willie Brown, who was a former lover of Kamala Harris that broke up his marriage and all that other good stuff. I have to go there. So people that, if you don't care about that, then stop talking about what Trump is doing with the prostitute.
We ain't no Trump fans, but to me, what's fair is fair.
What's fair is fair, right. If that don't bother you, then this man cheating on his wife and paying prostitutes shouldn't bother you either.
Or, that's the past. We need to forgive her. Well, then, we should never, ever see now one more meme of Melania, Donald Trump, Snowy, what's her name? Stormy Daniels,
Stormy
any of them hoes. We should never see nothing else again if we can't hold Kamala Harris. But again, to me, I don't care. You boinking your way to the top.
Right.
People do it all the time.
All
Do
the
you,
time.
girl? But when you boink your way to the top and you harm people, especially the people who you kind of sort of claim maybe in a way to be, when you harm those people, that's a problem.
Exactly. Did you happen to see Kamala dancing to Cardi B? And I just got a question for you, Demetra K. From the Demetra K Show.
You can call me black ass, new black ass. YouTube.
New black ass YouTube.
Yeah.
53-year-old woman, 54-year-old woman. Now, when I saw the video her team put out, that's another example of carping and cooning for black folks. Okay, she's showing her edges to show her ethnicity. And then she's dancing to Cardi B. Do you actually believe she listens to Cardi B?
No, because I think if she's supposed to be this astute, upstanding woman, and she really knew about Cardi B, I don't think that would be what I would put out. I mean, because, hell, Cardi B is always under scrutiny for twerking and all that kind of stuff. So, but she's appealing to the millennials. That's what she's doing.
Trying to appeal to the millennials.
She's trying to, because we know that even with the Obama election, the millennials helped him win that big time.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. So
this guy, and people remember, Bernie Sanders went, when Hillary had no opponent, this guy went from 0 chance and closed a 60-point gap in 8 months.
Right, because he woke up the younger people. Now the younger people aren't like when we were younger, because when we were younger, there
was a lot of information.
Well, yeah, we didn't have the internet, so we just kind of went off of what our parents told us and kind of what we heard on
John Lewis.
You stupid, all that, but especially because the internet belongs to the millennials. So that's what I think her purpose was, is to tap into the whole millennial thing. Hey guys, look how cool I am. I'm bopping to Bodak Yellow.
Yeah, but no substance. Like I said, every time I get
an argument with people, the first word is, hey, I think, hey, little bitch. I think that's the first word.
But you deal with Roland and these guys. Okay, he's supposed to be all this awoke person. But you said, and to me, it shuts down anybody that carps for this candidate, black, a woman of color.
When you say carp, you mean caping.
Caping.
Yeah, because I know people are going to be like, what the heck?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Caping for this candidate is like you said. Okay, Roland, since you're all awoke and all this other stuff, and your panelists on your show, they were I couldn't believe it. But anyway,
horrible.
What tangible accomplishment has Kamala done? You're this newspaper editor. You're this guy that gets down and and holds people accountable. You tell us.
I think. Per that segment, I didn't hear anything that she's done. Now, I think that also depends on who you ask.
Okay.
If you're asking people who are maybe All Lives Matter and police, Blue Lives Matter, they're going to say, Kamala is that chick. She is, diehard, because I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, she's a strong woman and all that. So that's what I'm saying. Depends on who you ask. Now, if you're asking us, when I say us, I'm talking about black people, then we have a different outlook on it, because the things she's done that's helped everybody else has hurt us.
Right. So do you think that Roland and CNN and all these people that are saying, oh, if you ain't with this woman, you're against the race and all this other, I mean, nobody else got that kind of exposure.
Well, yeah, clearly they picked their racehorse. And, like I said, Roland... And I'm not saying Roland is not intelligent. I just think Roland is one of those stepping fetching ass dudes, and if he sees this, he's probably gonna be mad.
Sambo.
Yeah, I just think he's one of those guys who knows how to talk the black lingo, quote unquote.
Like Kamala.
Yeah, but he ain't pissing off the establishment.
Because he wants to eat. He's got to eat.
Yeah, because one thing.
And he's eating well. If you saw his size.
You know what? I didn't go there, but I think in his mind he's got this. They're gonna call me back.
Well,
one day I'll be right back in prime time.
Yeah, but you think about that. It's not just him. Now, my aunt. Okay, NAACP. I mean, she's active in the community.
She doesn't watch the show, does she?
No, I don't think so. But even if she did, I mean, God bless her.
My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid.
Exactly. Even if she did whatever it is, I mean, you throw all these facts out there, and it's like they don't see. Okay. To make a better example, You're a mother and you have a son.
Mm-hmm.
This woman's record does not reflect that this woman, if she was giving all of the power of being president, I don't think that I'll see any pardons. I don't think there's going to be any change because she shows a record of cracking down on black people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
why isn't Roland saying that?
This is what I really, really hate, especially when it comes to us. We can have all the facts out there.
Right.
Well, I just don't know. You just hating on it. I just showed you where the information was. Like, I had people arguing with me yesterday, and I'm like, dude, I don't know Kamala. Mm-hmm. I'm only going by her record.
Yeah, and from what I know of her, she ain't getting my vote.
Yeah, but, when we don't stick together and we don't do this to white people, like, listen, everybody should get under the fine microscope to see what the record is. However, when you say you're one of us and you want our vote, then yeah, we're going to take you to task because we know you'll get up there in Washington and misrepresent black people and make the rest of the world think it's okay what black people are going through. And then you won't come home and bring the bacon back to black people like you've done for, DACA, gay and lesbians and women and everybody else. Black people are always at the bottom of receiving. I don't even know if there's crumbs left by the time everybody gets stuff. And so, yes, we're going to take our black candidates to task heavier than we are everybody else.
Now,
why wouldn't you want us to?
Right. Now, in this election, do you think Roland is mad more so for the fact that anybody like myself, like your show, could put on a platform that could compete with him? Because when we looked at the comments of that section, and you guys are going to be able to see this behind us as we're talking actually right now, of that particular section when he's talking about, what his qualifications are. Do you think, because when you look at the comments of the people who liked it versus the people who didn't like it, there were more dislikes.
Yeah, so far before I came on here, it was about 450 dislikes and 200 and something likes.
Right.
So it was more than half of people who didn't like it. And like I said, the comment section was brutal. Brutal.
And so do you think it's because now that he's, versus any other election that preceded us, because of the internet, because of YouTube, because of Twitter and all this other stuff, now we can communicate and express our ideas a lot more so than falling for the thing in the tailpipe. Are we going to do it again? Maybe not as much.
I don't think we are, simply because a lot of people have, when I say black people, have woken up. Mm-hmm. And yes, Roland is mad because, like I said before, imagine going to school and getting all, this education as far as journalism.
And then here comes some nigga out of Edgemont, California, throwing up a studio and putting this thing up.
Right, you black-ass YouTuber.
Right.
You new-ass black
YouTuber, right.
But yeah, but which, like I said, is beautiful because now people are starting to use their social medias and things like that to enlighten other people. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But see, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Roland is happy, I believe, when black people are doing silly stuff. Mm-hmm. Because then he comes out like a knight in shining armor.
Right, a sensibility. Mr. Sensibility.
Because you remember, 2 years ago, Roland was considered like the authority of black news and stuff, but now you have all these, you got Phil of the Advice Show.
Yeah, I like Phil.
Who has a few channels, but his main channel, he has over 1 million subscribers. And this dude, I don't care what it is.
And they tried to take him down.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But anytime news breaks, He's on it. He has a lot of following and views. And so, if I'm rolling and I'm supposed to be that authority figure, I'm mad.
Right. And by the way, Phil, if you're listening to the show, Demetria is going to try to move her show down there to Houston. So be ready to rumble. No, joking. Maybe y'all could do a joint venture thing or something like that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
But yeah, of course he's mad. Who are you guys? Who are you guys? You don't know nothing. Hell, all you got to do is open a book and study and read.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Who is he to say? There are a lot of, like I said, Tommy Sotomayor opened my eyes to the enemy of the black woman. Now, I know some people, I'm just joking right now, but I know some people are getting mad. But you know what I mean? But some people, it makes sense,
Well, again.
Whatever you follow.
Roland, I think he hit the nail on the head. Roland is just upset that it's not him anymore.
It's not him.
And a lot of people who are on YouTube, these new-ass black YouTubers, they are they're contrasting everything. Well, I don't know about everything, but a lot of things that he has sold people, because I noticed, even in his comment section, what appears to be a lot of older people are in support of him. But then that got to remember too, that generation is
going wayside.
Yeah, but they're on that civil rights thing.
Yes.
You know, well, do we have civil rights and this, that, the other? We need to fight to be included where people don't want to include us crap.
And it's funny that you say civil rights, like when I was talking about my aunt. It's almost like they are that thing, wait your turn. But you guys aren't leaving from my cold, dead hands. How long are we supposed to wait before we take over and guide the country?
And people are not. He got somebody like Tone Talks. That's the name of his channel.
Yeah, I seen him.
Very enlightened dude.
Yes.
I mean, he just gives it to you, you know, he gives it to you the right way. And so Roland doesn't like people like that because you're contrasting what I'm saying. I should be able to get up here and sell y'all a load of crap.
Yeah, you know.
And don't question it.
You know, and then looking at Roland, and nothing against the brother. Well, I got a lot against him, but, you know, he's probably also mad at the fact that he probably can't do what we do here, setting it up and stuff. You know, he's a so-called sleep journalist, whatever he's doing, but he probably has to rely on other people to put his thing to make it look like a studio and stuff like that.
Well, because it does. It looks like it's in a studio, which I'm sure it probably is and stuff. But yeah, so to your point, he's got this high-end production. He's got all these astute guests in the scene. He's
probably got interns at work.
All of that, but yet here you are, like you said, a Negro from Edgemont, California. You know, and you built your own studio, and so it's like, well, y'all shouldn't be listening to him. You should be listening to me. Because I have all these accolades and all this big, giant resume, but I'm here on YouTube with y'all.
Yeah, you're on YouTube with us. You know, and these millennials, like I said, it doesn't take much to put a show up. I mean, you were doing videos on your phone.
Out of my room. Right. I mean, so I'm saying, so I guess if I'm looking at it from Roland's point of view, yeah, I'm kind of mad. I'm mad. And I'm mad because y'all Negroes is right. Y'all putting out y'all like, you know, it'd be different if people on YouTube talking about Roland's fat, Roland's stupid, because I don't agree with calling him none of that kind of stuff. I think it's silly. True, well, hey, you said it, I didn't. But he's mad because I think he knows the information is right. You know, and that
information is power.
Yeah, and which is why he got mad saying you guys don't know the black agenda like I know the black agenda.
But what gives him the authority to say that? You don't know my experience.
He's been the black sweetheart of the media for up until recently. He's been that dude.
Because he got his start on CNN as a contributor.
Right. He's been that dude for a long time. And then you have somebody like your Phil Scott and your Tone Talks and your Tariq Nasheeds and, you know.
Uyghur.
Yeah, all these, the whole, I mean, we can go on forever. All these people on YouTube who are garnering like thousands and thousands
millions
and thousands,
and
sometimes millions of views. Which I don't even know if he was getting that on
I don't think so because
TV1.
Because remember, the millennials are the ones that surf YouTube, you know, more so than our generational parents.
Right.
Like
and so I think he's just mad because they are, and not only are they just on there talking stupid, because I don't think they are. They're backing it up with receipts, as the young people say. They are showing, and because as my dad always says, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So they're proving what they're saying, contrasting that in actuality, Roland does not. He might know the black agenda, but he is not promoting the black agenda. Right. And like I said on the comment section after I unsubscribed from him, it would behoove him if he was really interested in talking about the black agenda to have somebody like Dr. Claude Anderson on there where he gives us the black agenda, the blueprint of group economics and especially politics, saying what we need to do. We need to collectively get behind one candidate, hold them responsible contractually, and actually go up to Washington with what we want.
Right.
No longer going.
Tangibles.
Right. No longer going and, you know, saying, well, I'm going to vote for her because she's cute. I'm going to vote for her because I like her. Oh, she just sings so nice. You go, girl.
Right.
And that's another thing. I'm going to cut you off. This is probably why I'm going to get in trouble. But I ain't scared. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid either. I'm noticing that it's a lot of black women who are behind.
Come to the Tommy Sotomayor side. Come on, baby.
No, not quite. Okay. There's a lot of black women. I'm not saying all because I also have seen a lot of black women say hell no.
Right.
But there's a lot of black women coming to Kamala's defense for absolutely no reason.
No reason whatsoever.
They don't have not one good reason as to why they're doing it because she's a strong woman. Hillary was a strong woman too.
And the most qualified candidate in history of this country.
Yeah, but look at the other stuff she did as a strong woman. I mean, she wanted your black sons to heal. and called them super predators. We're talking about Henry.
And
so
since your black sons over there to fight, and some of them lost their lives for mercenary things for oil.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need other reasons other than I just like her. You know, black people just don't support nobody. And now it's bigger than black people don't support anybody. That's why we are here in 2019 as black people, because we've been supporting everybody without saying, okay, that's nice, but let's see what you're about. Mm-hmm. Because if you're truly representing the black community, your credentials are going to say that. Like, this is the person we're trying to... We want this person to go up to Washington on behalf of black people.
Right. You know, if I was talking to Roland Martin, I would say, well, since we ain't shit, then why does Kamala is carping for our vote? Obviously, she needs it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think anybody would be a fool to think that the black vote does not get people over. Mm-hmm. It does, yeah. And another thing, too, I kind of thought about it, because I saw bits and pieces of Kamala's CNN town hall, whatever. I think she realizes that black people are not for her. And so she's probably just like, I don't care. Because it doesn't sound like she even answered a whole lot of things in regards to black people. Right. She didn't even refer to herself as a black woman. Yes. She said, I'm a woman of color.
Yeah. She doesn't identify as black.
Right. Well, you know, because she's not really trying to appeal to black people.
Right. Well, people got to understand. Because I know people say, oh, she's black. Her father's from Jamaica. Okay, but listen, we know that.
I believe she's black. I don't have an argument. Yes. I don't have a dog in the fight as far as her being black. Or what kind of black is she? Black? Right. Or she just... I don't have
African
a dog
blood.
In the fight.
She has African blood. Absolutely.
But when you hunching your shoulders to Cardi B and you talking about, you know what I'm saying, Five, you know, her favorite group is a Tribe Called Quest and all the cookout shit. I mean, you're clearly trying to appeal to black people. So
this is an insult.
Right. Because another thing is, we need somebody to go to Washington on behalf of black people who is unapologetically black. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Okay, so what do you identify? Well, shit, I'm black. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud to be black. Right. But you know why they won't do that? Because that sounds like Black Lives Matter. That sounds too much like I'm black and I'm proud. Right. And that pisses off the All Lives Matter, the Blue Lives Matter, and those people. And so I'm just a woman of color. I mean, I'm just saying.
You know, at her town hall, she was asked specifically a question, and could you kind of elaborate on it?
It was a question. It was the only segment I really watched fully.
And you know, and another thing is, on Roland's show, as you know, since this section is about Roland, he didn't ask those questions or didn't even address it.
No, they were just completely talking about basically why does she need to represent a black agenda? You know, she's
You're a woman of color.
Of everybody. That same old
but that's always the answer when it has to do a specific black thing. Oh no. And notice her answer. And Roland and all those other guys. Well, she doesn't have to, you know, she has to do everything.
Well, I would say in Roland's defense, he did say, no, she should have a black agenda. Mm-hmm. I disagree with him in that I think he knows what it is. He just won't push it himself.
Yeah, because he's trying to get back up into the big house.
I ain't going to piss off masses. You crazy?
Exactly. But her CNN town hall, she was asked
about her political record and how does she explain that when her political record has been so adverse.
Is it political record or her DA record, prosecutor record?
Or prosecutor record, sorry. And the guy was specific. He said as far as suppression of evidence, keeping innocent people locked up.
The fraud that was going on in her office.
Not wanting to overturn the 3 strikes law when it meant letting people out for petty crimes, really, because there's a lot of people.
Yeah, she sued to keep nonviolent offenders in jail because it was going to affect the prison workforce.
Yeah, she wanted to keep them in prison because that helped with the labor force. It's cheap labor, you know.
For the corporations and her non-prosecution of Steve Mnuchin.
And she completely danced around. She gave to me, it almost sounded like she knew she was going to get that because it was so perfectly answered, even though she didn't answer the question. What she did to Roland Martin. She listed off her accomplishments, and she said she was proud of her record as a DA. And so it's like, all right, you proud that you had people...
you were admonished by the Supreme Court.
And that you kept people in prison.
That were innocent.
Like the man who was found innocent after spending 14 years in prison. Mm-hmm. She fought against him getting out because he turned his paperwork in late.
Right.
And the same thing with Mitrice Richardson, who was a black girl out here who was found dead.
After she was released at midnight.
It is highly speculated And a little bit more into speculation that the police department that she was released from had something to do with it because they saw a police officer or detective leave right after she did, and that was the last time she was seen alive.
And her murder was never solved.
Never solved, but so paperwork, and I think it was Mike Treese Richardson's aunt or somebody sent a 500-page letter or whatever with the information, everything, to Kamala, and Kamala's assistant declined it because she turned the paperwork in late.
Right. And
by like a year, so the aunt was like, well, if I would have known.
Right, and then every time this stuff is brought up or there's a corruption in her office that happened under her watch.
And it gets explained away.
She explains it like, well, I had no idea. It's always the underlings. It's kind of like the Trump thing.
Yeah, but you're the head person.
Negro in charge, right.
And then Kamala.
Or, I'm sorry, a colored person in charge.
Right, get it right now.
Sorry.
Because she doesn't strike me as a person that's just laissez-faire when it comes to dealing with people. It doesn't seem like she's, well, whatever you think, let me just go on over here. She seems like she's very hands-on.
Hands-on, like Donald Trump, a micromanager.
Right, and so I just don't believe that she had no idea about a lot of this stuff. But, yeah, she danced around the question completely. And like I said, she just listed off her resume, and she said that she's proud of her record as Attorney General and District Attorney.
Well, I just want to say to Roland Martin, I'm, I would be offended if you were somebody that was of significance in the black community. However, it's a new day. The technology is here, and you are now irrelevant because black people are now awoke.
And hold on now. The NyQuil for Negroes is starting to wear off.
It is. It is.
Okay?
We're starting to wake up, getting the coal out of our eyes.
It's almost like that scene on The Wiz. At the end when they're
right.
Brand new day,
out of the old.
Yes, that's what I envision when I think of black people waking up, especially when it comes to politics.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, absolutely. In the news, Terry Crews, what you got?
Mr. Terry Crews, if you guys have probably seen or maybe haven't seen, he's an actor mostly known as Damon. And Friday After Next, I believe it was.
Right, and then one of that brought him claim to fame was White Chicks.
White Chicks. Mm-hmm. But I think most of us know him as Damon on Friday After Next, where he was, I can't remember the actress's name, but he was home from prison. He got out of prison, and he sat on the couch talking about he wanted to rape Tupac, and then, he's trying to rape Cat Williams' character and Day Day and Craig. So that's kind of how a lot of people know him. Not that it's warranted about what I'm going to say happened to him, but a couple years ago, he was at a party with his wife, a Hollywood shindig, and some agent in the business came and...
Harvey Weinstein acolyte.
Yeah, his name was Adam Somebody. Grabbed his balls in front of everybody, including his wife, and he said he was startled or, shocked.
Oh.
And now, for those of you guys, and we'll put a picture up here, who don't know who Terry Crews is, this is like the Incredible Block.
Yeah.
Not the Incredible Hulk, but the Incredible Block because he's big, black.
Yeah, he was a former NFL football player.
Like, this dude is huge. Okay, and so a lot of people, one of them being 50 Cent, D.L. Hewley, who actually has this big feud in the Twitter war they had going on yesterday and the day before, basically said, like, as big as you are, you should have been able to say no and mean it, is what he said. And then a couple of other people said, and I think it was 50 Cent, I could be wrong, said, what a waste of muscles.
Right, it's a waste of muscles.
And I've seen a lot of people talk, about it. And so, of course, he's upset, as he should be. I'm not saying Terry Crews shouldn't be upset. Nobody wants to be touched. Yeah, he was. But, he's saying how dare you, and this, that, and the other. And then he also said that he was surprised, I guess, because black women came to his defense more than anybody.
Really?
And
that's
so,
shocking.
And I'll get into that the other day. I'm going to get into this story because my daughter just sent it to me as I was talking to you guys. He got into a little bit of trouble, he being Terry Crews, because he defended Michelle Rodriguez, who's an actress. On the Fast and Furious.
The Fast and Furious, and she's in the Resident Evil series, too.
Oh, no, I'm tripping. Gina Rodriguez, not
Gina
Michelle.
Rodriguez. Okay.
No wonder why I couldn't find it.
Okay, Gina was in one of her brother's production.
Gina Rodriguez, whoever she is. And so she plays on, I forget the Netflix show, whatever it is. But anyway, so this article here says, Terry Crews tried to cape for Gina Rodriguez and quickly realized that it was a bad idea. He says, forgive me, y'all. So the y'all he's speaking of is black women, because remember, he said that black women came to his defense the most. But Gina Rodriguez said something that was pretty derogatory to black women, and she did a 360 and all this other stuff, and he defended her, saying she's not like that. And so then black Twitter, black women came for him and said, wait a second. Mm-hmm. What she said was bad, and then here you are defending her after we defended you. Like,
right. So I mean, but let me ask you this: just because somebody does one thing for us, does that mean we have to stay behind that person, regardless of what mistakes or missteps they make?
I mean, I think everybody should be. If you do something wrong, I think everybody should be taken to task, depending on especially what it is, you know. But it's like, and that's not even really my question. I just want to kind of bring that up. Is that the women you say defended you, now you're going against them, especially when the chick, and I'm trying to find exactly what she said. She was basically saying the all lives, trying to, Gina Rodriguez trying to apply the all lives matter concept to black women.
Okay.
And, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen the shirts, all lives matter.
Yeah, and so she was talking about the lack of inclusion of, I guess, Latina women, when the conversation was about black women. And so then that's when he came out and defended her when he shouldn't have, and he got his ass handed to him by black women on Twitter. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so, but the question that I have really is, I mean, is it fair to do that to Terry Crews?
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
I
think
really
it's fair for, and I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer, but is it?
Everybody needs to be criticized for what.
Well, no, I think you should have been criticized for that, but I'm saying, is it fair to say because you're this big dude that you should have defended yourself?
No, because you have a lot of guys that are big, but they might be homosexual, effeminate homosexual. You know what I mean?
I mean, could we just really just take him at his word that he was shocked?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because I mean, you got to look at it this way. Well, what if you throttled the guy and did something? Now he's got that thing behind him. Now he's in the assault
and that's what
thing.
he was pretty much said. I didn't want to make the situation worse
than what it is. Yeah.
But let me ask you, because you're thespian.
Yes.
You're at this big time Hollywood shindig,
Absolutely.
and you know, looking all dapper and everything, and old dude comes and just grabs a whole handful. What's your next move?
I'm choking him out. Yeah.
But wait, what about your career, and you don't want to cause a scene?
Oh, well, you didn't say where I was at in my career. I'm already on top in Hollywood.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. But no, that regardless if I'm at the bottom or at the top, I would have choked the guy out.
He put his hands on him?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
And
because I'd been assaulted.
Yeah, so, because I think that's where most people are. And again, listen, y'all, don't come for me. Because I agree. I think sexual assault is sexual assault, regardless of who it happens to.
Right.
But I've seen him taking a lot of, I've even seen people call him a bitch, you know, whiny, and
gotta do what you gotta do.
And on top of that, the DA didn't prosecute the dude. They dropped the charge, and they said because the statute of limitation for the misdemeanor was up. But I mean, the dude, in all fairness, lost his job, and the agency, I can't remember the agency he was Terry was under, because the dude worked for the agency. Mm-hmm. And the guy settled out of court.
Right, they settled out of court and stuff like that.
They settled out of court with him, so obviously something happened. I'm sure, you know, his wife could attest to the fact that he did it, but a lot of people have questions.
Well, when you're that big.
There's more. How much time we have?
You got 5 minutes, bud.
As I said, too, in the beginning, you know, he had a whole movie role of a rapist. And like he wanted Cat Williams' character bad.
And was that acting?
I mean, I'm assuming that it was. I'm assuming that it was.
Hey, Jay, I'm just saying. I'm just making up joke.
Also, you know, I've seen pictures of because I haven't seen a lot of Terry. I watch movies a lot anyway, but I haven't seen a lot of Terry Crews' movies. He's
an Old Spice man. He's the big. You know,
that's somebody brought that up. How he's always, you know, flexing his muscles and always without a shirt. I've seen him in something he was around Sylvester Stallone and a couple other guys.
Yeah, that was the Expendables and
where
stuff like that.
He busts out of his shirt, he has a bra top on.
Well, you know, Terry is known for his comedy. He does take on a lot of comedic roles.
But then let me ask this too, because this is, and I wish we probably had a little bit more time, but this is where the question that I have is, so we have this thing called the emasculation of black men, especially in Hollywood. As we talked about on a show a couple weeks back, there's Lee Daniels is producing a show with Super Bitch, a movie with the character, the little dude running around with the pink boots, the thigh-high pink boots and silver shirt called
If the money
Super
was right,
Boots.
I would have played that role.
You play Super Boots?
I mean, you know, I'm an actor. Yeah, I'm an actor, but go ahead.
You a lie. I wouldn't let you. I'd kill Donovan first. But so you have this effeminization of black men, especially in Hollywood, and you know Terry Crews has kind of played into a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so here you have this white dude, because the dude was white, comes up to you in front of everybody, including your woman. Did he always think that of you?
Could be. I mean, I'm going to say this in my own defense. I have some friends of mine that are homosexual.
I do too.
And a lot of them, you know, have crushes on me and stuff like that. Like, oh, Donovan, you know, you're so cute to me.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know, and I hear that all the time and I joke with them, you know, and they know my stance.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not unusual.
But I'm saying if you're in the Hollywood industry and they know that's how black men are portrayed a lot in movies, and he's busting out of shirts and he's got bra tops on.
Yeah,
I've seen him in pictures with wigs and dresses on.
Yeah, he's making the situation a little bit more.
And I'm not saying it's right, because to me that's the equivalent of saying a woman to walk down the street naked and she deserves to get raped. I don't know, that's not true. But I'm saying at some point in time, the dude just felt like shit. It was okay. I mean, Terry's a big buff black dude, and he look at me acting more feminine than I am.
Yeah.
And then he walks around with bra tops and.
Well, you know, you got to remember, you know, Terry's a working actor. I'm not saying, you know, you're going to sell. Some people will. I mean, that's what you got to do.
And not saying it's right. Listen, I got to reiterate that. Has he done something strange for the change before? Not saying it's right.
Yeah, we're not saying this is factual or anything like that. We don't know. But in Hollywood, that is not above belief.
Yeah. And
it's
so
not.
It isn't wrong for people, you know, like D.L. Hughley's. Yeah, it's wrong. But I don't think I think, because it was
D.L. Hughley was in Hollywood, so he
and he did this during the Vlad interview. So I think D.L. Hughley was just probably saying what a lot of people
think.
And that's, like, I have my issues with D.L. Hughley too. But I like D.L. Hughley because he says what everybody else won't say.
Right.
Yeah, they thinking it, but they won't say it. And I think he's more or less like, shit. I mean,
You're 6'3", 270 something, or 260 pounds, something like that.
Just your presence alone. And this is the dude who did is a little white dude.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You should have been the last Negro in the room.
Right.
But again, I don't know what the circumstances are. Again, I'm not victim shaming or blaming Terry Crews.
Hollywood, casting couch. You want this part? How bad do you want it? You want to eat? You know what I mean saying? I mean, somebody's got to take that role. I got a house payment. I got a mansion payment. I got car payments. I got kids in school. Donovan, you know, they're like me. There are certain roles I will not take. Period. I mean, can I play a homosexual man? Yes, I could.
Right.
But certain things I will not do. Yeah. No. I would play one. You know, like in Philadelphia, Tom Hanks' part, like that. Right. You know, with dignity, I'll take those roles. But I'm not going to be out here super bitching like that. I would take the super bitch superhero and make it more.
You want to wear the thigh-high boots?
No, I have to go with that and the halter top. Yeah, no, I have to stop that. It has to be an all one. No, I don't know, but you know what I mean. You know, you got to have some dignity in what you're doing, because, like we always say, image and portrayal sometimes hurt our community.
Yeah, I agree, but to me, it's like we are so far past having to do any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah. Right.
I can understand if this was old Hollywood and that's the kind of stuff you do, but we're in 2000, we're in the new millennium anyway, and dudes are running around in wigs and shit. I mean, it's like...
They gotta eat. People have got to eat, so... But we're going to continue the conversation in the second hour. You guys, if you guys have had a chance, check out Demetra Kaye on The Demetra Kaye Show on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys really missed it. She's on YouTube, and God, we're just about everywhere.
Everywhere. Spreaker,
Spreaker,
Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. I mean, and we're getting good views. Dee is still trying to leave to go down to Houston, but like I said, I ain't letting her go nowhere. She's not going anywhere.
Yes,
And I want you guys to check out a good friend of mine. She has a nice little business going on, and she's sponsoring us, Shantae's shop. You guys check it out. You guys are going to see it on our page here as we go. I'm sorry, Shantae, I forgot that I didn't have my note thing
going. Yeah, your card. It's okay. We got you.
I'll get it on the second hour, so it's no big deal. But you guys stand by. We're going to be right back in the second hour. We're going to continue this conversation, and we're also going to talk about who we should be voting for in the election of the people that are already out as of right now. So let's get into that a little bit. See you guys in the second hour.